So, as it is now time for us to go ahead to our next expert speaker joining us at this forum, we have Mr. Rajesh Kamath, the founder of Chanakya Consulting, with a diverse background spanning from customer support to leadership development and events conceptualized to networks. Rajesh's career journey has been anchored by a passion for learning and community engagement, and we look forward to learning from you today. Let's give him a warmer round of applause.
So I decided that I won't use a presentation because you've got so many presentations. So I want to start by first of all saying a namaste to all of you. Namaste sabhi ko, and let's give a warm round of applause for all of you. You have to listen to 100 speakers over today and tomorrow. Okay, so it deserves a big clap. So मैं तो भारत की भाषा करूँगा. Of course I'll intersperse it with English. What is the name of today's program? मतलब conference का theme क्या है? So you have half of it over here. Connect future ready leaders. And what is the rest of it? I read for Viksit Bharat. But Bharat तो है ही नहीं यहाँ पर. So what happened to it? And one of the things that I also noticed, doesn't matter what conference it is that we speak a lot more about the knowledge that's available from around the world. लेकिन भारत कहाँ है उसमें? So we have a, in the Rigveda, and some of you may have heard of it, there is a shlok or a sukta, to be more specific, which says, Ano bhadraha kratuva yantu vishwataha. Let noble thoughts come from all over the world. So we followed that, and we are still following it. And I have been on that very side. But I realized over a period of time that we are taking so much from around the world that the Bharat with part of it has just gone missing. All right. I use the DKIW pyramid as well. उसमें सबसे ऊपर है wisdom. Wisdom cannot come from technology or processes and all of that. Wisdom has to come from here and from the heart. And that's what I'm going to speak about. So while the theme that I've spoken about, that I've taken is again DEI, मैं जिस चीज की बात करूंगा थोड़ा अलग होगा. Okay? I have learned that almost anything and everything that comes to us in this nation actually comes back to us. तो आपको सबका सोर्स यहीं पर मिलेगा. But I'm not speaking about this from a point of view of patriotism. So please don't think that. I'll give you a few examples, and I'm going to ensure that in the 9 minutes that I have now, you have 3 or 4 ideas to take away. First of all, I thought a lot, and I keep thinking a lot, that we speak about DEI. We don't really need to even go to the examples of around the world, or even large organizations in the country. For me, we are sitting in the DEI capital of the country for sure, perhaps of the world. और उसमें भी अगर चाहिए तो आप मुंबई लोकल में जाइए, भेल वाले के पास जाइए, चाय टपरी पे जाइए. You will get people of all demographies, of all faiths, of all backgrounds, of all languages, of all ages. That's diversity for you. And that's inclusion, because the bhelwala doesn't ask, ki yaar, what age are you? What title are you? What faith are you? What language are you? Serves everyone equally. है ना? So we have to combine. The reason why I started this organization, it's called Chanakya Consulting Insights, is because for the large part of my career I saw everything coming from around the world, and we are proud to call it global, when there is very little that was spoken about this nation itself. Okay? So I'm going to give you a couple of 3 examples actually. And I found all the speakers' thoughts very, very interesting. And I still continue to study a lot of what comes around. But I connect back to what's available here. So, whenever we speak economics or finance, right, invariably the name of Kautilya comes up. And, If you notice whether in Delhi or in Mumbai, the Aikar Bhavan is always called Kautilya Bhavan. Now who's Kautilya? Kautilya is Chanakya. Okay? And Kautilya was his scholarly name. His given name was Vishnugupta. Just putting some facts for you for audiences who may not be as familiar. So Kautilya was his scholarly name, his academic name, if you will, his research-oriented name. How does the Kautilya Arthashastra begin? It begins with an invocation. I don't know any invocation which is as diverse as this. It says, Om Namo Shukra Brihaspati Abhyam. Now many of you will know from just your readings from childhood. Shukra kaun hai? Shukracharya. Shukracharya kaun hai? असुरों का गुरु. तो बृहस्पति कौन है? देवों का गुरु. Right? We all know it. And these two are so diverse because you are talking about the teacher of the devs, you are talking about the teacher of the asurs. Why is he saying Om Namo to all of them? To both of them and several others, Purvacharyas who are spoken about in this great work called the Arthashastra. The reason is, he says you have to take diverse perspectives. Doesn't matter who they are. Teachers who may be on the extreme left, teachers who may be on the extreme right. They may be thinkers and they may be doers. They may be people who, subscribe to a particular point of view. There may be teachers who are thinking absolutely different. You have to listen to both. All right, so that's one point on diversity, and you can capture whatever like. I intentionally avoided the presentation so that I could engage with people, which I find is more possible through communication like this. Do you know how society was organized in ancient times? By the way, it still exists, but we lost the essence of it. There are three ways. Today in organizations, we'll call it as goals, roles, and you can loosely call it as value. Sir spoke about value just some time back. One of the speakers, Mr. Deshpande, if I can remember right. What is this? What are these three? In Bharatiya terms, they were called as ashram, varna vyavastha, and purushartha. If you don't know about it, don't worry about it. I'm going to share a little bit about it. And I hope you'll find it very, very fascinating. Ashram alludes to understanding chronologically. You can call it the role-based, organizing of society. What is role-based? First you are a student, then you are a householder, then you are a mentor, and then you are someone who becomes a full renunciate. There's a time when you have to make space available for resources of the world to the younger people. Please move on. This is the way society was organized. This was age-based. Isko ashram vyavastha kehte the. Think about the value of this today, folks. We speak about sustainability. It spoke to us about how the use of resources have to go on reducing as you progress age-wise. Kahan gaya wo? Hum bhul gaye. The second is varna vyavastha, which has been very wrongly understood because people don't study sufficiently. We need to study. Varna vyavastha is never the caste system. It is goal-based. Rather, I will put it as value-based, not even goal-based, value-based. How value-based? Now listen to the terms that I'm going to share with you. What we think is Shudra was the contribution of effort or seva or service. What we think as Vaishya was the contribution of economic value, paisa. What we think as Kshatriya is contribution by way of management, of leading people, of governance. And what we think as Brahman was contribution by your mind, thinking future, thinking ideas. So contribution by way of thinking and designing the future. Last but not the least was the Purushartha. Purushartha is contribution, not contribution I'll say, but organization of social order by way of your goals. Purushartha, Purushoya doesn't mean male. Purushoya means human. Artha means objective, goal. And everyone has these objectives. What are those four? They are called dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Today, when the authors of Ikigai, right? If you find this book now, they've written on 4 Purusharthas. Foreign authors are now going to make this popular, my dear friends. But what is dharma, artha, kama, moksha? One of the topics today was ethics. Dharma means ethics, dharma means purpose. Artha is economics and looking at how to create livelihood for all, not just for self. You can even think of it as prosperity. Kama is being able to enjoy the prosperity that you've created, and moksha is being able to move back to where you came from. We came as energy, became matter, go back to where you were. Okay, so I'm going to just repeat the points, summarize the points that I made today, and then we will stop. Yeah, last but not the least, I'm going to give you a new definition for DEI. And if you get this right, I don't think you will need to study a lot of other things. Okay, if you wish, you can write it down. D stands for Daya. And Daya is not Karuna, it's not sympathy, rather it's empathetic compassion. Number 1. E is Ishwarayita, is being able to see the divine in every single being, not just human, including in nature. And I stands for Insaniyat, bringing out your humane nature. If you follow this, you don't even need to look at others and say, hey, I need a quota separately for women. I need a quota separately for LGBTs. I need a quota separately. Get the idea? So, with that I'll pause. I just want to summarize what I shared with you. I started with saying, take thoughts from around the world. Be open to contrarian thoughts, just the way we are over here. Number 1, look for the wisdom of Bharat. Number 2, think about, what are the places in Bharat, in Mumbai, from where you can learn DEI and experience DEI. The third I spoke about is the ashram, varna, and purushartha. And last but not the least, about how you can practice daya, ishwarayita, and insaniyat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamath. A very different perspective, bringing the Bharat in the context, and of course, through Chanakya Niti, how do we empower leadership in an organization? Let's once again give him a warmer round of applause.